Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. I'm going to give credit where credit is due, because this particular video was inspired by something that Stephen A. Smith said today on ESPN First Take. As you guys know, yesterday's game one concluded with the Oklahoma City Thunder beating the living hell out of the Minnesota Timberwolves. They beat them by 26 points or thereabout. They beat them by a lot, right? They beat them by a lot. In that second half, they just blew the doors off of them in that third quarter and that fourth quarter. But going into the game, the two most talked about stars were Anthony Edwards and SGA. SGA has been living up to the billing. He will win the regular season MVP. And coming into this series, I believe he was averaging, let me see what his playoff numbers were, 29 points per game on 46.7% shooting, 27% shooting from the three, if I'm not mistaken, 84% shooting from the free throw line while getting you 5.8 rebounds, 6.6 assists, 2 turnovers a game, 1.6 steals. Coming into this game, Anthony Edwards, these playoffs, is averaging 25.7 points per game on 44% shooting, 38% shooting from three, 73% shooting from the free throw line, while getting you 8 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 2.5 turnovers, and 1.4 steals. And at the end of last night's affair, SGA finished that game, although he didn't shoot a great percentage, with 31 points, 2 turnovers, 3 steals, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, but he did attempt 11 free throws, and he shot 37% from the field. Anthony Edwards, who has the biggest mouth on the court, he scored 18 points. He led his team with a negative plus minus of negative 23. He had 3 assists, 4 turnovers, 9 rebounds, 71% shooting from the free throw line, and 38% shooting from the field with 18 points. And at the end of the game, I'm saying to myself, yeah, this guy isn't Kobe or Jordan, because a lot of people have been trying to compare him to him. So as I was watching ESPN First Take today, Stephen A. Smith brought up a very interesting point, which was, as he's watching this series unfold, he goes back to remember some comments that Magic Johnson had responded to when Anthony Edwards made those comments about Kobe and MJ being the only players back then that had skill. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute now. This dude is getting exposed right now. So what we want to do is quickly read what he had said then from an old ESPN, NBA on ESPN post. He said, they say it was tougher back then than it was now, but I don't think anybody had skill back then. Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill. So that's why when they saw Kobe Bryant, they were like, oh my God. But now everybody has skill. Ant-Man, if everybody has skill, you ain't looking like you one of them. For a dude that said those dudes don't have skill, you sure have been struggling a lot. If you are so skilled, why are you struggling the way that you are? The fact of the matter is this: Anthony Edwards is nothing like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan at all. Now, the media may try to make it seem like he is, but he's not. He may have a similar size and build. He may have similar athleticism. He may play defense. He may talk a lot of trash. He may play with a lot of bravado. But the fundamental thing that separates him and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant was the production, folks. You can't compare them. Anthony Edwards right now, if I'm not mistaken, is 23 years old. Let's look at what Kobe Bryant was doing at the age of 23. Let me see. Do they have his age here? Okay, they don't have it by age. So I think Kobe, okay, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I'm 22 years old. Or 23. Kobe was averaging, playing along Shaq, 29 points per game on 47% shooting from the field in the playoffs, 32% shooting from three, 82% shooting from the free throw line, 7.3 rebounds, 6.1 assists, 3.2 turnovers, and 1.6 steals, and 0.8 blocks, with a plus minus that playoffs of 13.3, helping Shaq win championships. And if you saw Kobe at 23, you can't compare Kobe at 23 to Ant-Man. They're in two different universes. Like Kobe at 23 was way better than Anthony Edwards at 23. Let's look at Michael Jordan at the age of 23. Let's see what Jordan was doing. Let me see. Do they have his playoff numbers here? Okay, they don't have his playoff. Oh, they do have his playoff numbers. What was Jordan doing at the age of 23? Let me see. Games played. Let me see. Do they have? Yeah. So Jordan at the age of 23 was averaging, you know what? He only played 3 games. Let's go to the age of 24. Oh, 23, he was averaging 43.7, only 3 games. 24, he was averaging 35.7, only 3. Let's do the one when he played 25 games in the playoffs. That year, Michael Jordan averaged in the playoffs in 25 games, 36.3 points per game. You heard me right. On 53% shooting. You heard me right. 33% shooting from the 3. You heard me right. 87% shooting from the field. You heard me right. While for free throw line, while getting you 7.1 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 2.4 steals, and 1.1 blocks, while averaging 36 for the playoffs, not for a series, for the playoffs. Do that remind you anything of Anthony Edwards? Or the numbers I mentioned of Kobe Bryant? Does that remind you anything of him? I don't think so, Scooby. So for a dude that was making fun of an era that he believed had no skill, you're then saying that this era is so skilled. So why are you struggling so much? Why is this exceptional skill that we're supposed to be seeing? When you're playing with less physicality, more freedom of movement, more spacing, where's this physicality? Anthony Edwards is a great player, but he has to be careful of something. He's talking too much. Ant-Man is talking like as if he's Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Larry Bird, Kobe, or one of these guys that have the jewelry to back up all of that bravado and all of that talk. He doesn't. And if you're not going to have all of the jewelry, you got to have the production. And thus far, he wasn't even the best player on his team last night, for his team last night on the floor. It was Julius Randle. Julius Randle, one can make an argument, has been their most consistent player these playoffs. So maybe Ant-Man needs to do a little bit less talking and a little bit more producing on the court. And this is why, when you don't think before you speak, comments like that come back and bite you in the butt. You're looking really bad, my boy. You're going to have to pick it up a little bit. These are my... There's a big back and forth going on between RG3, former NFL quarterback, and former ESPN employee, and current ESPN employee, former NFL player, Ryan Clark, right? And it's centered on this Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, back and forth or whatever, which is at the heart of it, is highly, it has a lot of racial tension to it. It just is what it is, right? So everybody's weighing in on it after that hard foul, whatever, that Caitlin Clark delivered, and then RG3 took to Twitter to essentially say, hey, you know, she hates her. This is beyond basketball. She really hates her. Des Bryant chimed in. Ryan Clark chimed in. He gave us back and forth and all of that. And then certain words started flying around the air like cornball, right? Now, some of you may not know where all of this stems from, but the person that originally called RG3 a cornball was Rob Parker. And he did so ago about maybe 10 to 13 years ago on a segment he had on ESPN First Take where they were discussing RG3. And I forgot what he had done at the time, but I remember these comments. And he essentially was questioning whether or not this dude is like a legitimately black guy. And he was like, is this a cornball brother or is he a real brother? And these comments caused Rob Parker to essentially lose his job at ESPN. So yesterday I tuned into a segment on Fox Sports Radio and they were discussing this very beef with that's going on between Ryan Clark and RG3. So in the midst of Rob Parker talking about it, to my surprise, he reveals that during the pre-production meeting on that day, he had actually said the word cornball during the pre-production meeting, and no one like Skip Bayless or any of the producers threw up their hands in the air like, hey, Rob, you can't say this. So he was essentially blindsided when he went and said it on air, and then eventually it cost him his job. And I'm like, wait a minute, I did not know this. But before we even get into that, we want to play the original comments of what Rob Parker had to say about RG3 over a decade ago. Take a listen to Rob here.
This is an interesting topic, but for me personally, just me, this throws up a red flag when I keep hearing, and I don't know who's asking the questions, but we've heard a couple of times now of a black guy kind of distancing himself away from black people.
Okay.
I understand the whole story of, I just want to be the best. Nobody's out on the field saying to themselves, I want to be the best black quarterback. You're just playing football, right? You just want to be the best. You want to throw the most touchdowns and have the most yards and win the most games. Nobody is doing that. But time and time we keep hearing this, so it just makes me wonder deeper about him. And I talked to some people down in Washington, D.C., and my question, honest
friends of yours, right?
Friends of mine, right, who are around in some of the press conferences, people I've known for a long time. But my question, which is just a straight, honest question, is he a brother or is he a cornball brother?
What does that mean?
Yeah, explain that.
Well, he's not really. Okay, he's black, he kind of does the thing, but he's not really down with the cause. He's not one of us. He's kind of black, he's in the, but he's not really like the guy you really want to hang out with because he's off to something else.
Why is that your question?
Well, because that's just how I want to find out about him. I don't know because I keep hearing these things. We all know he has a white fiance, and there was all this talk about he's Republican, which there's no information at all. I'm just trying to dig deeper into why he has an issue, because we did find out with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods was like, I got black skin, but don't call me black. So people got a little wondered about Tiger Woods early on about him.
What do RG3's braids say to you?
Now that's different, because to me, that's very urban and makes you feel like, I think he would have a clean cut if he was more straight lace or not. Like, wearing braids is, you're a brother. You're a brother if you got braids on.
So you heard what Rob Parker had to say. So we want to fast forward now to what he said currently about this situation between RG3 and Ryan Clark, and his comments about how ESPN and Skip Bayless essentially just left him out there to just double cross him and left him out there after no one said anything during their pre-production meeting. So what we want to do now is going to play what Rob Parker had to say on Fox Sports Radio yesterday. I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Rob here.
I just think, this is not even Angel and Caitlyn anymore. They have some other underlying thing.
There we go.
And the whole thing is, people can have differing opinions. It's okay.
Are you sure you're allowed to have that in 2025? Do they know that?
I still think, to me, you can have a differing opinion. Everybody doesn't have to be in lockstep and all be on the same page. We wouldn't have a radio show. If me and you were here today, seriously, and everything I said you agreed with, we'd probably be off the air by now.
Right.
Okay? Because you want to hear different sides of the story. If we agree, we don't fake it. If we agree, we agreed on something earlier. We agreed on
OKC.
OKC, we agree on it, okay? We're not going to fake it just to make a radio show and make you believe that we both have different opinions on everything. But this is definitely crossed the line of being personal, and I think that's where the issue comes in. For RG3, who I, of course, have a history with, and I still can't believe 13. If you would have told me 13 years ago that when I left my suit and my bag in the conference room for First Take in 2012, we had already done the show, like prepared the 10 topics.
Yep.
I went back in to get my bag and my suit to go over to do research in the other building, and Skip and the producer were like, hey, we really want to do this topic with RG3, and, can you do this? What would be my reason to say no?
Right.
I didn't come up with it. I wasn't rogue on the broadcast, and nobody knew they had the lower third set up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it wasn't a rogue thing at all. And that's the thing that made me feel comfortable enough to even go out and do that. I've been in a million, you do production meetings.
Yeah.
Rob G, a million production meetings I've been in where I might say some funny joke in a production meeting and they go, Rob, don't say that on the air. Don't say that on the air. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When I said what I said, there was none of that. There was nobody put their hands up. Oh, my God, please don't say that. Oh, God. Nothing. Because I didn't think, if you would have told me back then, 13 years ago, that term would still be used and still be relevant and people attach. I can't. You tell me, I'm trending like every so often. Friends are just sending me stuff going, dude, your name is everywhere in every comment on Twitter. It's mind-boggling to me. So I look at it. I think you try to avoid being personal. You do. But this is a personal feud. This is not a sports debate.
So you heard what Rob Parker had to say there. What are my thoughts about this? Look, do I think that it was a fireable offense back then? No. I think that what Rob Parker was trying to do, and I think he probably mentioned it in the audio there, was he was essentially trying to draw parallels between him and an O.J. Simpson, right? O.J. Simpson, a lot of the black community turned on him because he was just like, I'm not black, I'm O.J., right? I'm not black, I'm O.J. A lot of people got offended with O.J. Simpson when he did that. I remember them talking about O.J. Simpson when we were hearing whether or not he was going to be released from jail, a prison on Undisputed a number of years ago when Rob Parker was on there with Shannon Sharp. And Shannon Sharp echoed the exact same sentiments that Rob Parker did, where OJ said he don't want nothing to do with the black community, so the black community don't want nothing to do with him. He also brought up the comments of Tiger Woods. So I think by him bringing that up, he probably used that term to characterize this idea that he had of him, which was similar to the idea that he and many people had of O.J. Simpson and a Tiger Woods. I think that that's all that happened there. So Rob now saying that he said this beforehand in the pre-production meeting. Nobody said anything. So for him to essentially get blindsided when he got fired, I'm sure he was pretty surprised. He's like, because you guys didn't say anything when we're talking about this before the show started. Now, in terms of this term now, coming back into the zeitgeist of this thing that's going on with RG3 and Ryan Clark, look, it's something that's always been said, right? And there are people out there that feel that way about RG3 and there are people that feel otherwise. I just thought it was quite startling for Rob Parker to reveal that he was essentially double-crossed because it wasn't like as if when they heard it on air, that was the first time they were hearing it. So what I get tired, and I really do. I get tired of all of the games that people are playing. I sincerely do. I'm tired of the games that people are playing. And people are playing a lot of games these days. As I'm following this back and forth between RG3 and Ryan Clark is beginning to make me get infuriated by a lot of the black media members that essentially go out there and grift for clicks and views. And it's getting to the point where I said, you know what? We got to produce this show just for me to get this off my chest. Now, for the clowns in the background, they'll say, oh man, Charles is race baiting. When have I ever race baited? Really? Y'all gonna accuse me of that? Me? Really? Really? Where's the evidence, Scooby? Can't find it nowhere. The fact of the matter is, this is something that is bothering me to my core, and I got to talk about it. What is driving me crazy is the following. I don't understand the purpose of these I'm talking to black creators now, media members now. I can talk to them freely. What I don't understand is, why do some of you go out of your way to debase yourself, degrade yourself, reinforce negative stereotypes about yourself and your group? Why are you guys doing this? Why are you guys going out there and attacking your own people just because it's going to get you some clicks and views? Y'all know, look, whoever's offended by this it means that's what you are. Because those people who are not doing this will not be offended. And I'm getting to the point where I am just sick and tired of it. I'm not going to mention the show because I don't want to go that far. I was just having my lunch 20 minutes ago or so. And I clicked on a video. And it was of a panel. 2 black people and somebody else talking about, oh man, the fact is black women are very, very angry, and it's the reality. Black women are angry. And black women, they're just so angry. And you got all these wild ass black dudes running out there creating this content. I'm going to call y'all what y'all is. Y'all are creating that content because you think white people want to hear it. So therefore it's going to make you a lot of money. Period. End of story. You dudes is doing it for money. You figured out a way to grift. So if it means attacking your own women, you'll do it. You'll do it. And in your mind, you'll be like, well, I'm not talking about my mom. I'm not talking about my family. I'm not talking about my daughter or my sister, whatever. So I'm cool, but I'm going to do it anyway. And you go out there and make a fool of yourself. The question is, why are you doing it? Who sent you dudes? Who sent you dudes? I'm reading comments. I put up a post on our channel. Let me say, 20 minutes ago. Yeah, about 20 or so minutes ago. And the post read, I have to say this. These black content creators that are going out of their way to trash their own women for clicks and views is the most corny thing I've ever seen. I just believe you are super lame to attack your own women. Black or white, it don't matter. You're a super cornball for that. Period. There are angry black people in the world. Anger doesn't select out by gender or race. Lame is what these men are. They are lame. And do you know what some of the comments were in the comment section? Oh man, stop trying to protect women. Kenyon Martin called it how it is. Kenyon Martin spoke about an experience or experiences he has had. But to then say that all black women are angry, it's ludicrous. And it shows me that you have a very myopic view of the world. You haven't traveled nowhere. And you haven't tried to go outside of groups beyond your own social norms. I was just attending my sister's graduation. Everybody there was black women. They were all pleasant, very lovely women from all over the world. My daughter, the happiest person I know, literally a happy baby. Happy baby. So how do you explain that? Ain't they black? Ain't they black women? Oh, but no, you don't understand. No. You guys want to perpetuate this narrative because you believe it will make you money. Because a lot of people already think that. So you're like, oh, well, I'm going to say that because it's a great way to make some money. You got dudes like Myron Gaines. Only in America somebody like that can become popular. Only in America. You got to do like Myron Gaines, who used to do shows, a dating show, whatever it is. People come on there and insult each other, whatever the hell that show was, the Fresh and Fit podcast. It went from that to him now grifting into this, whatever grift he's doing, to now is all black women. Bro, you're an embarrassment, bro. You are an embarrassment. I think he's from Sudan or one of the, you are a complete fool. For you to go out there, being an African man, going out there shaking your booty, so these people will be like, oh, look, there's another black guy that said, you're an embarrassment. An embarrassment that in your life, the only way you found a way to make money was to degrade yourself and a group of people. You're an embarrassment. That's the only gift God gave you. That's the only way you saw how to make a buck in this world is to do that. You couldn't do anything else. You couldn't do anything else. I'm not saying this to say, oh, all black women are, that's not the point. The question I'm having in my mind is, why are you dudes doing this? Why y'all doing this? Why is this your life purpose? Why y'all trying to propagate this nonsense? I was just at the airport the other day going through JFK. There was an extremely beautiful girl with a disgusting attitude. She was Hispanic. She was Hispanic. So what am I going to do? Run around and say, oh, man, all Hispanic girls, they have an app. You know why I didn't do that? Because I'm not a bozo. Because a few people up the line, there was another Hispanic girl who was very beautiful and she had a pleasant smile on her face. So why are you selecting that out to be the thing to propagate? Why don't you go out there and say, hey, there are a lot of great people. No, I won't do that. I won't do that. No wonder some of you dudes let people like Andrew Tate become your heroes. How you let that dude become your hero? How he become your hero? This just explains to me that the men have lost society. Because if it gets to the point where these dudes become your role models, you dudes running around quoting that dude, you would want your mother to date a dude like that? You would want your sister to date a dude like that? You would want your daughter to date a dude like that? So why you dudes running around modeling him? Why y'all running around modeling him? I just think it's so corny to me. Everything, oh, it's black this, and the black did that, and the black, what is it with this black? And the part that kills me is, they'll be the same ones talking about, oh man, this guy trying to race bait. That guy, but when that's all you talk about, I've noticed that the people that complain about race baiting are the race baiters in society. Anybody that's quick to say, oh, stop race baiting, you people are the race baiters. Because every little thing, you process it through the prism of race. Every little thing. Every little thing. Oh, is this race baiting? Is that race baiting? Is this race baiting? Is he race baiting? Oh, that is these people. And my question is, when is enough is enough? I'm just so sick of these dudes. Y'all ain't got nothing else better to add to the world. This is your talent? This is your talent? To degrade your own race of women? Why can't I find any other white or Asian or whoever, Indian, saying the same thing about they women, but you are? And then the worst part about it is, these dudes don't even have the courage to keep it consistent. These same black dudes who go around and do that, they don't make no videos about white women. They don't do it. Do you know why? Because that's their audience. And they wouldn't dare mess with what butters their bread. They know what they're doing. Trust and believe. These dudes have closed their eyes and said to themselves, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make money. And if it means selling my ass, that's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I just think you dudes are pitiful. All of you. Talking about, oh man, you out here simping. Bro, I'm married. I ain't got to simp for nobody. I'm not out here trying to impress no girl. Maybe some of you dudes are. I'm not out here trying to, oh, let me position myself this way so women would, Brian, that ain't me. I'm not in the game trying to, oh, let me get the, I don't care. I don't care about none of that. What I'm saying is you dudes are bozos. And the dudes doing it the most are these black dudes. I don't see no Hispanic content creators talking about Puerto Rican girls are like this, Dominican girls are like this, girls are like this. I don't see no Indian content creators talking about Indian women are like this, Indian women are like that, or Japanese or Asian. All I see is these black dudes running up there embarrassing themselves because you had some few bad experiences, or you keep selecting a particular group of women. They keep giving you this experience, and therefore you try to paint all women like that. That they're all a bunch of angry black women. What is Kenyon Martin talking about? Who are these women he's talking about? Who are these women? I told you, I was at a graduation. With what? 5 black women, my best friend Marco, who's white. Who's white? We can do a video, we can get him on here and he'll tell you the story. We sat up in there in Barclays Center. The auditorium was filled with so many Asians, all these people in there. I'm sitting there, I'm trying to get to my seat. We're all trying to walk into the aisle or whatever. These people behind me, somebody taps me on my shoulder, my back. Please, can you sit down? I look, it's a row full of white people. I don't say nothing. I sit down. Then later on, I'm doing the video, clapping, whatever. I'm like, yeah. The woman taps my hand again and says, can you put, I looked at her, I said, what is wrong? I said, why are you touching me? Why are you touching me? He then whispers over to me in Italian. Like, yo, these people are insane. Talking about these people. But they're white people. So do I now run around and talk about, oh man, these white people, they all angry? No, because I'm not a bozo. I'm not a bozo. I'm just sick of you, dude. I'm sick of y'all. Y'all need to go somewhere. If you don't like your women, keep it to yourself, B. Keep it to yourself. I just think these dudes, these black dudes that are doing this are just y'all are super bozos. Super. I don't understand, bro. I don't know where you dudes came from. And then the worst part is, you got some dudes coming up to me. Oh, man, you know, Charles, he not FBA. I hold it down more than some of you dudes do. How about that? I hold it down more than some of you dudes do. All you dudes, most of y'all do is hold down LeBron's balls. That's all y'all do. I hold it down more than some of y'all. That's why I be sitting up here laughing. When you be got these crazy ass LeBron content. Oh, Charles, man, he don't like FBA. That's what they be trying to do. They don't give a damn about no FBA and no black this and no black that. All they care about is LeBron James. What about all the black players that didn't play with LeBron James and got their reputations destroyed? Kyrie, Russell Westbrook, Chris Bosh, this one, that one. But then they want to talk about, man, all you do is turn on black. Really? Really? My favorite black players, they all, what do you call it? FBA, to use your term. Kobe, Kawhi, Jordan. And I wasn't picking them because, oh, they that. I picked them because I liked them. And you got these dudes running around, man, oh no, man, Charles, oh no, it's Charles this, it's Charles that. Maybe you need to go figure out something to do. Maybe y'all need to go look for something to do. Instead of sitting down trying to figure out what I am and what I'm not, why don't you go cut on a microphone and do something to combat these bozo ass dudes? Why don't you dedicate your time to doing something constructive than worrying about what my background is? I hold it down more than most of you dudes. Most of you. And I'm not doing it to pander. I'm doing it because I believe it. I'm just sick of y'all, man. They need to get rid of these dudes. And they know who they are. I'm not going to say their names. But the ones doing it, y'all know who you are. And y'all are super bozos. If you are a dude, white, black, blue, green, and all you do is sit there and degrade your own women from your own race, you are a clown to me. You are a clown to me. A clown. A self-hating clown. If you don't like your women, keep it to yourself. But you don't need to go around telling the world all of their flaws and all of this. We don't nobody asks you. Because all of those other groups ain't doing it. Except your stupid asses. Go show me these videos of all of these other races of men who trash their women. Where's the videos? Where's the videos? You dudes are fighting to degrade yourself. They be in the comment, no, man, you don't understand. You don't understand. Stop simping. Stop simping. Come on, man. You don't understand. An embarrassment. That's what you dudes are.